Danica trying to lead for the 3rd time this season. She led 2 laps at Texas, where she finished 3rd. She led 1 lap at Iowa. And this is, well, she finished 3rd at Texas. But this is probably as race as we've seen her since Texas.
Oh, and here comes
a car upside down, flying upside down, and that's Franchitti. 3, 4, 5 cars involved.
Franchitti, Weldon, Dixon, and Schechter, and it looked like that touching.
Not sure who that was. Franchitti's car is upside down, but look, there is Dixon as well.
Yeah, he got hit in the head.
So Franchitti, we also see that's Hornish.
So a terrible accident. Looked like almost the same thing that happened between Castroneves and Mira. They just kind of got sucked together going down that back straightaway.
You see Hornish climbing out of his car. You see Dixon climbing out of his car. And you see one of the emergency crew members motioning for some others to get over there. They need to roll the car back over. They want to stabilize him first if there is an injury, which makes it very difficult when the car is upside down. And there you see the number 2 car of Schechter.
So he made it back to the pit area, but he was involved in that. Of course, all the leaders, the top 7, were all right there, nose to tail, side by side. And when that accident happened, you know, most of them didn't have any way to miss it.
Of course, Kim Green, the rest of the Canadian Club officials, and waiting for a report. Now, race control, Larry, is saying, I don't want to be premature, that Dario's okay, which is phenomenal if there are no injuries to Dario.
Wow.
Hornish is over there. Look at Hornish trying to help out.
Yeah, he's helping them lower the car down. And
look at this. Look at this. Look at the movement in the cockpit. Is that phenomenal, Larry? I mean, let's take a deep breath, because anytime you see something like that, it's just amazing how strong these cars are.
And you can see his crew guys standing there applauding as they saw him.
Dixon is coming over. Weldon's coming over to make sure he's okay. Look at the dirt on top of his helmet. Look at the helmet all scuffed up. There's Dixon over there to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, he just went
There's
up,
Hornish.
Went up, had a look, turned around and walked off. So just to make sure everything was okay.
Incredible, Larry. Incredible.
Wow, he was very high on the racetrack. There's Weldon, also involved in that. He and Dick Franchitti got together, and I'm sure.
Well, they're the Ganassi teammates walking together. They'll probably all have to go to the infield care center, just that mandatory checkup.
Yeah.
Hornish is involved. Franchitti is involved. Schechter had damage on his car.
Yeah, there, Ed Carpenter.
Carpenter was involved. Foyt was involved.
Wow. Yeah, Schechter was definitely involved in it, as well as those 5 we have up there, or 6 that we have up there, because he was in the pit area with damage on his car. So
that car, in reality, Larry, was not airborne that long, but for that driver, it was an eternity. It was a lifetime.
Yeah. And it, you know, just, you know, when you're up in the air like that, traveling at those speeds,
we want to go to Jackaroo with Thomas Schechter.
His pit stall, and Thomas, take us through what happened out there.
I tell you what, that was some of the scariest stuff I've ever seen. And just 2 cars touched. It was, you know, Dario was pushing really hard. I think, you know, Dario was wanting to come down, and Dan wanted to come up a bit. And all I saw, I mean, I saw Dario backwards, upside down in the air. I was fully slammed on the brakes. I didn't know whether he was going to come straight into my foot. Well, honestly, just one of the scariest things I've ever seen. And pity, because we were running so good, you know, and with no other teammates up there, it was good. So look forward to the next race.
Well, on pit road, Danica Patrick's getting service, Brienne.
And Danica is out. Now, she was leading coming in.
There goes Tony Kanaan. So we've Marco looks like he's going to beat everybody out of the pits. So
well, this is going to change the complexion, because that took out
about
four or five potential winners right there in Schechter, Weldon, Franchitti, Dixon, Hornish. As you see the adjustment on the Sharp car, and now Marco is going to lead this thing.
Marco's going to be in the lead. Danica lost 4 positions on that pit stop. So.
Marco's our 6th different leader of the afternoon.
But, yeah, it appears like this is that was almost a destruction derby down there going down that back straightaway. It appeared like the left rear of Franchitti made contact with the right front of Weldon. And once that happened, all bets were off. Nobody behind them had any kind of a chance to miss those speeds. Let's take a look again, and you can see they're going down the back straightaway. And well, you can't tell exactly whether he moved down or whether it was pretty much what we saw before. Right here's where he was really lucky. That car turned over just in time, because if Dixon had run into him when he was completely upside down, this could have been a much, much worse accident.
The car hit and started to get airborne again as Dixon got into him.
Right, just it turned just.
Now watch the Dixon car come into your frame here. Watch this next red car come into your frame. The car lands upside down, starts to move back up when it gets clipped.
Yeah. If he had stayed upside down on the racetrack, that could have been a much more serious incident for him.
Foyt got into him.
Yeah, then Foyt got in. But everybody behind there was just a victim of circumstances at that point. You can see Scheckter hard on
his
the brakes. But Dixon came around him. They got together. And it was just a free-for-all at that point. There was nothing anybody could do once that contact was made down the back straightaway.
You know, Larry, it is so rare anymore in modern IndyCar racing to have a car upside down. And this is the 3rd time we've seen a driver upside down this season.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable, really, that we've had this much of a problem. But
Eddie Carpenter also got involved.
Let's see
in
if we
thing.
can see. You know, that's again. They just were running so close. It appeared that Dario came down ever so slightly, but you know, Weldon might have moved up slightly too. From that angle, it was just very difficult to tell exactly what happened. Wow.
Well, you realize now on this restart, Larry, we're only going to have 7 guys in this race.
Guys and gals.
And gals, I'm
right.
sorry, yeah, gals.
And let's take a look here from a little different angle. See, from that angle.
Oh, Patrick, what a view she had.
Yeah, she was
she
very
looked
lucky.
off to her left and saw the car go up.
Yeah, she was on the outside. Very fortunate to be out there far enough. She didn't get in that. Everybody was down lower on the racetrack. Just about got into that thing. And here we can see as they turned the car over, you can see Sam Hornish there on the back helping. They want to make sure they let it down softly. They don't want, if there is any kind of injury, they don't want to
break a tailbone or something, right. Slam down.
Right, let him down. So they have to let it down very gently so they get everybody on that side of the car that they can, so that they got enough people to let it down slowly. And still right there at the end, the front end dropped a little bit. But
you see immediately the movement in the cockpit